Corruption is considered a strong constraint on growth and development. The economic literature, however, finds different effects of corruption on economic performance. United Nations Secretary General António Guterres has been challenging global leaders to take a moral stand to root out corruption and install a culture of integrity from the top to down, saying corruption affects both developed and developing countries.
Corruption affects developed and developing countries alike, and complicity knows no borders. Those who can least afford corruption suffer the most. It cripples economic development, stifles entrepreneurship, and deters investment. Society cannot function equitably and efficiently when public officials, from doctors to police, judges to politicians, enrich themselves rather than perform their duties with integrity. If governments are serious about doing the best for their citizens, then pledges to promote integrity and clamp down on corruption must be more than campaign promises and words on paper. And millions will go to the polls this year with corruption high on their agenda. And I make an urgent call to our global leadership to take a moral stand and install a culture of integrity from the top down. It all begins with setting an example. By tackling corruption, governments can show they mean business.
The head of the UN Office on Drugs and Crime also added his voice at the meeting, saying it was hard to imagine just 15 years ago, historically a very short period of time, there was no global instrument to criminalize corruption, to fight briberies, to recover and return stolen assets. Now nearly every country in the world has corruption offenses in their books.
Nowadays, it is hard to believe just 15 years ago, historically a very short period of time, there was no global instrument to criminalize corruption, to fight briberies, to recover and return stolen assets. Now, nearly every country in the world has corruption offenses in their books. They cooperate and provide mutual legal assistance. Last year, Switzerland returned 3.5 million euros to Tunisia. In December, Switzerland signed an agreement with the Nigerian government to return $321 million. Just two examples that represent only the smallest fraction of the funds lost to corruption, money that could be used to build roads and hospitals, schools, teach children, and enable opportunities. These achievements of the Convention represent solid progress on which we can and must build.